It is no accident that Toyotas slowly fall in price with age. For example, the Hilux pickup truck had only one weak point: its owner. Despite the fact that the second generation of Toyota Hilux was not officially delivered in Russia, this pickup truck is not exotic here. Produced from 1997 to 2006, he did not pretend to be a family or sports pickup. It was a pure utility truck. Unpretentious, devoid of any comfortable joys and not seeking to bribe design. However, the saying, "Toyota for work," has long been known outside of Japan, so the main buyers in Europe were construction, installation companies, and delivery services. In Iceland, on the contrary, private owners loved it very much, and due to the specifics of the area in this country, a wheel size less than 33 is considered indecent. There are also right-hand drive, purely Japanese, representatives of this model. But Hilux received the greatest distribution in the Arab-Asian region. Therefore, a lot of copies came to us from there, and the vast majority arrived new through the channels of gray dealers. Is there a difference between Europeans and Arabs? Yes, both outside and inside. People from the East are distinguished by different front optics, small side mirrors, colorful stickers on the sides, missing window vents on the doors, and, most importantly, they almost completely have air conditioning, which the Europeans cannot boast of. There are also differences under the hood. The Arabs are deprived of the second battery and a large washer reservoir, but their Visco clutch for turning on the radiator fan works earlier than on the northern specimens, and the temperature arrow in winter always lies on the edge of the heating zone, which, however, does not prevent warm air from blowing from the stove. There are 3 versions of the body: single cab, 1.5, and double. In any of them, there can be a one-piece triple seat in front, where only the entire sofa can be adjusted in the forward/backward position, and the back angle is fixed forever at the angle that the manufacturer considered universal. However, there are also separate regular chairs. In a 1.5 cabin, there is enough space in the back except for a medium-sized dog, but the double is not particularly spacious. By the way, do not flatter yourself with the fact that the pickup truck with the longest cab is a 6-seater. Only the Japanese or ballet divas, not as large as Madame Volokova, will be accommodated in such numbers. What is bad about Hilux is the storage space for small items and larger items. One glove compartment on the front panel, and even that without illumination. As for the body, there are no special complaints so far, although the windshield frame is the first indicator that corrosion is slowly recruiting a new client. Most cars have crumpled rear corners of the loading platform. Everything is clear here. There is no rear bumper as such. Rear visibility is poor. This is the result of parking by sound. In the platform itself, wheel arches are often found pressed through by the load. And, by the way, if there is an insert in the car, this is bad. Rust under it settles quickly. So it is better when a special chemical protective coating is used. More than a dozen diesel and gasoline engines were offered for the pickup truck. This is the turbo diesel 1K ZTE 3.0L, 125 horsepower, revered by cruisers, and the aspirated 3L 2.8L, 90 horsepower, known for its unpretentiousness. But Europe was deprived of these units. 2 turbo diesels, 2K DFTV 2.5L, 109 horsepower, and 2 LT 2.4L, 90 horsepower, 1 aspirated 2L 2.4L, 83 horsepower, and 1 gasoline engine 2 RZFE 2.4L, 142 horsepower. Engines, subject to maintenance regulations, are tenacious and ask for retirement with runs of more than 100,000 kilometers. The only thing is that the cylinder head of turbo diesels does not tolerate an insufficient level of coolant. The gearbox is all 5-speed manual, and although the catalog mentions automatic, no one has seen it in reality. In addition to full-fledged SUVs, there are also simple rear-wheel drive versions. In the all-wheel drive transmission, everything is done classically: a transfer case with a lowering row, a manually connected front axle. Since the axles are rigidly connected in 4x4 mode, the front end in the transfer case automatically turns off when the speed reaches about 80 km/h. The front axle hubs are either with manual hubs or without them at all. That is, the axle always spins, either idle or under load. In general, everything is simple and reliable. Most importantly, in addition to changing the oils in the units, do not forget about the supporting bronze bushings of the front-wheel drives. If a squeak is heard when turning, and when shaking hands, play is felt in the drive, it means that the bushings have already worn out. Delaying the update threatens with expensive replacement of drives. Also, CV joint anthers require regular inspection. It is not difficult to break them on knots or sharp ice floes. An anther not noticed in time is a sentence to a hinge. The rear suspension is a conventional beam bridge mounted on springs. Front independent circuit with torsion bars. At the rear, with age and from overloads, the maximum allowable weight on the platform is 750 kilograms, the springs sag. Naturally, shock absorbers are not an eternal element of suspensions. In the front suspension, replacements about once every 80 to 100,000 kilometers require ball bearings, and they serve less in the lower arm than in the upper arm. Wheel bearings need to be adjusted every 40,000 kilometers. Cardan shafts and their crosses are equipped with grease fittings. The presence of lubrication in them is a guarantee of a very long service life. Steering of the Old Testament design with the gearbox and pendulum lever requires a little attention. Once every 100 to 120,000 kilometers, it wants a new steering arm, and after a while, a pendulum lever. Well, gearbox leaks are an indicator of mileage well over 200,000 kilometers. Despite a full-fledged transmission and other attributes of a Rogue, Hilux off-road is not at ease. Moreover, those who still decide to seriously need the dirt cut off the back, which is very disturbing on the roads. Of course, such specimens can amaze the imagination with the most uncharacteristic breakdowns. As usual, large wheels reduce the life of suspension and transmission components. Here we must not forget that the front independent suspension is more delicate than the condominium beam of a continuous bridge.